Hits and Crits. This video is brought to you by Asmodee.
Hello and welcome everybody to the House Bolton Office Hour brought to you by Hits and Crits, best community in the world. So I'm really glad to show you today some updates about the new patch. The feelings of people are quite a bit in a negative mood, I have the feeling, but let's try to give the patch a little bit more of a positive vibe, and I'm not doing this alone here. I have my dear friend Jan Wargrok on stats here, the best Bolton player I know in person. So welcome, how are you?
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's nice to be here. Sorry for my English, it's not my best language. So
No
yeah,
problem at all.
okay.
So, without further ado, shall we start with the changes?
Yeah. We
Yeah.
cannot. No perfect English, Carly.
No, perfect English. First of all, before we start, for everybody who's already here, first of all, I can see the chat. So Jan is going to look in the chat. He's going to tell me if you have some questions. We will talk about that. And this is a live event. The focus here is on you guys. We will moderate it quite a bit. We will give the topics we are talking about. But when you have something to say, we can get you up on stage and just have a little discussion here. So let's start with the changes that came with the Season 6 update. And one thing I'm pretty excited to talk about is we have a faction ability, Dreadfort Prisoners. Would you like to tell us something about Dreadfort Prisoners?
Yeah. In my opinion, also my first impression of the faction card is it's not very well.
Yeah.
3 tokens are equal to 1 panic token is for me, so I don't know how can there be, also the English word I know is worth. So
Yeah.
I don't know, is it good or not? Three ranks to destroy is something in this meta. For example, when you play against Baratheon, there is very, very difficult to use this ability. But in praxis, in the 5 games I play, I must recognize that this ability is very, very good.
Yeah. I have to say also my first impression was At first, on the first reading, I was like, oh, I can spend 3 order tokens to trigger a panic test. I was so excited that I lost all my reading abilities. And yeah, I was like that. And then, oh no, it's just a panic. That's pretty lame. And then after that, a day later, I noticed I can't even stack up tokens. And I was like, really? Oh, well, underwhelmed is the right word for it. But, like you said, it had pretty much an impact on how I build lists, on whether I will miss stuff or not. I will talk a bit more about it later when we came to the actual lists.
One thing.
Yeah, please.
The strongest card for this faction ability, also the strong thing for this faction ability that I don't see in the first moment is the trigger moment, in my opinion.
Yeah.
For example, crew methods. One of our best healing cards, maybe some tokens, but with this deck I don't see. Egal. Crew methods, and you can use Dreadfort Prisoners and crew methods at the same time.
Yep.
That's very, very nice. That's very, very new for the Boltons. Before I must plan my tactics. Oh yeah, then with Ruse and Sue, I place there a panic token with one of his order tokens, and then I'm on the next turn I can use crew methods to heal me. No, now we can place a panic token and use crew methods. It's an easier way to play.
Yeah. Or even just to say, hey, I'm spending 3 order tokens for a weakened and a vulnerable with crew methods, for example. Another good use is you have our blades are sharp in your hand and you know you're going to attack. Yeah, guess what? Start of turn, I make you panic for the reroll I'm getting.
Yes.
Yeah, so nice. It's very, very flexible. Through that. Yeah. I tend to like it more. Yeah. But I will talk about some advantages later when we talk about the matchups.
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah. No problem at all. Now, besides getting a completely new ability, we swapped one of our tactics cards and got a buff to another one. If you're fine, I'm going to start with Bloody Beheadings.
Yes.
Which will replace Remorseless Examples. One of that card we all are keen to trigger the ability to kill an enemy unit, have Remorseless Examples in our hand, and to spawn that special corpse pile. It is a great feeling, but it's just, I can't tell how many Bolton games I have played. I can tell you I've got to trigger this corpse pile 3 times, and I was already winning the game at that point. So now, what does Bloody Beheadings? It's the same trigger as Remorseless Examples. We have to complete a melee attack, and we have to destroy a rank. And when we just destroy a rank, every enemy in long range becomes panicked, which is, that alone, I like very much. But if they were already panicked, they suffer a panic test. So we now have, like a panic nuke. We can spread a panic test over in long range to every enemy unit is panicked, and if we destroy the enemy, so same thing as with Remorseless Examples, guess what? Enemy becomes panicked and they suffer a panic test. And what is really nice, how the card is written at the moment, each enemy in long range, not each other enemy in long range, becomes panicked and suffer a panic test. In fact, that means I hit someone, I wound him, he suffers a panic test, and then I play Bloody Beheadings, and this unit is included, so I can trigger 2 panic tests on 1 melee. Isn't that a great card?
Whoop. And it synergizes with Dreadfort Prisoners. You place a panic token, you see, oh, the unit has 1 wound in 1 rank left, and you can use Bloody Beheadings to trigger the panic test. It's very nice.
It's very nice. You can use it to to trigger multiple spread fears you may have over your army, prey on fears, everything. It's great if you are in melee, of course. Yeah. Okay, sadistic games.
Yeah. Start of enemy turn. It's the old trigger. The enemy must choose. But now, instead of that he can choose between 2 panic tokens and the auto hits, he can now choose between 2 panic token and 2 weaken token.
Great. I love it.
Yeah. 1 tactic card for 2 for 2 tokens is very nice. And no, these 2 cards in the 20 cards we have in our tactic deck, it's 4 cards. So now 4 cards are playing more frequently in a game because it's easier to play them. So
Yeah.
Remorseless Examples was a good card, and I love the corpse pile, but Bloody Beheadings feels like Berserker Tactics for
Yeah.
Bolton.
Yeah. As close as we can get.
Yeah, as close as we can get, yes.
Yeah.
So, and statistic games, first turn, if you have this card 2 times on your hand, it's not a waste to
Yeah.
play all 2 of them, because even when the enemy chooses the weaken token, you can weaken 4 enemy units. It's
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah. Yeah. To round off the topic of the tactics deck, my personal experience, I really like the Bolton tactics deck now. I mean, there's always stuff to improve, but to be fair, those 2 fixes we see here right now are the two things that makes the Bolton deck feel so much more round. I have so much less trouble cycling through my deck, and it's not like I just have to throw the cards away. Sadistic games and first turn is not a auto cycle anymore. It's the opposite. You wait for the enemy or yourself to take the backs away. 2 tokens, just first turn. Have fun with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I see the Boltons in this season more than a token fraction than in a panic fraction.
Yeah.
Because these 2
Yeah.
cards give you so much tokens. That's
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah. Those 2 cards and the faction ability on top.
Yes.
Yeah, without really spammy. Yeah, that's true.
That's very nice.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Shall we talk a bit about our unit buffs?
Whoop, whoop. Yep.
Whoop whoop. Blackguard scythe movement. Yeah. It seems like a small change, but I have to be honest. We will see it later in the list building section. I don't want to take cutthroats anymore. I don't want to take spears anymore. Double blackguard isn't a meme anymore.
Yes.
Yeah.
A good friend of mine says he loves the Roast Knights from the Baratheons, and he said yes, 4 to 5 movement. That's a really, really big buff.
Yeah.
That's very nice. I
Yeah.
love it. And we need this heavy unit that is a little bit faster, where we just not need the horses on the first or second turn
Yeah.
for the middle objective.
Yeah. Yeah. In case I don't see who's here, maybe I don't know someone, just in case for the newer people who maybe might ask, what's the big deal about this 1 point of movement? You have a 10-inch deployment zone, and your center objective is in the middle, so 24 inches. So when you want your blackguard to take the center objective, which is what they are supposed to do, they are a unit to put your commander in, they're a unit to put something what gives them even more resilience in, and just stand on an objective and defend it with their lives. And with a 4-inch movement, with a march and then another movement, you're just getting 12-inch, and with this one improvement, you're getting 15-inch. So you are finally able in turn 2 to reach the center objective without taking horses, and that's the big deal about them. Because often your enemy was quicker, and then you have to charge with your blackguard. But they want to be charged. So
yes.
Yeah.
And every enemy unit can outrun them in the past.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
at the beginning of season 5, I play Wargrok in the Blackguard, and it doesn't feel great because every
Yeah.
enemy says, "Oh no, I run around," and Wargrok never comes in the fight. Maybe in the 3rd or 5th round, it doesn't matter there. So with this improvement, one of our biggest threats in Bezug, verdammt. Also, we can provoke with the Blackguard one of our biggest panic tests.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
horrific visage, intimidating presence from Roos or Ramsey, and then corpse pile is one of our biggest.
Yeah.
In terms of thank you very much, Rusty. In terms of
Yeah.
it's a -5. It's a very nice panic test. Yeah. So I love this buff.
Yeah, me too. Me too. All right, and then we come to our glorious Flateman. What did they change?
Yeah. Yo. On the last rank, we have now 5 dice.
Yeah.
It's a little buff.
Yeah. I mean, we got it for free, so better be thankful than nothing. Yeah, problem is they are the number 1 target for harsh punishments. So most of the time we're at 6 dice anyway, right?
So this is a question from me to you. Is Flight Man really the best target for harsh punishments?
In the way that I played Bolton, I always played the Flateman with a Glory Seeker.
Yes. Okay.
With the Iron Resolve in mind to counter the extra wound from harsh punishments. So for me, most of the time they were the number one target for it. If I got some bastard girls on board, yeah, they were. Then it's about where are they on the board, who gets the priority. But yeah, it's mostly those 2 units for me.
Thundering better grind. Flatemen are very grindy. Yeah, I see what you mean. I play often harsh punishment with bastard girls.
Totally get it, yeah.
Sometimes on the spears. But that is very crucial in the Jane pool and buff the morale to the 5 and so on.
Yeah.
Because the draw, also in the first moment, every time you attack, harsh punishment feels like a great card. But in the way it's designed with a +1 wound for failed panic tests, the Boltons are not the best panic faction.
Yeah.
We have 6s and 5s to morale tests, so it's a harsh punishment.
It's a harsh punishment, yeah, true, yeah. All right, that's the actual changes for the Boltons. Don't know if we have any questions from the chat. Once again, don't know who may have joined. I just see what you see from my presentation here. If anyone wants to say something, to talk about something, just write it in the chat and Wargrok will tell me to put you up on stage. So
we can talk for the debuff, I would say, for that we cannot take Wargrok.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that now is a good time to not just talk about the bolt specific changes, but about the general changes that impact us and everyone. Yeah, like you just said. Sadly, in this patch, it was decided to get rid of neutral commanders. And I mean, I got to Wargrok Commander mostly by your recommendation. So why is that a big loss that we lost Wargrok as commander?
I'm the opinion, or in my opinion, Wargrok was the best commander for the Boltons, because the Boltons work with psychological, with the fear of the enemy, and who's better than Wargrok? So, and the Boltons and Dispatch, it's very hard. The Boltons works with commanders and CUs and attachments that there are flex picks, I want to say, from League of Legends. So you can use Roose Bolton as commander, but also as NCU. You can use Ramsey on all 3 positions. And if you lock someone of one position, you have not anymore the flexibility on the other positions. So, and when you play Wargrok, you can choose all you want. You can choose from do you want to play Ramsey as NCU? Do you want to play Ramsey as attachment? That's not possible anymore, except you play Steel Shanks.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
Yeah.
I think so too. I'm also 100% with you that he was my favorite commander for Boltons. His cards just fitted the Bolton playstyle, and it was the how was it called? The Careless Aggression card was the only source of out of turn order attacks. Maybe extra attacks was the only source we could have for that, and that's gone.
Goodbye, TMG. Have a nice dinner.
Bye, then. I mean, we will have to adapt to it.
One word to Wargrok. In my opinion, his best card was Crippler's Infamy, because +2 wounds to a panic test. It's one of the interesting cards when you play Boltons. When you see you can use the panic token to reroll and the weaken token to make more damage. It's very nice. It's very handy. It was nice and handy.
Yeah.
Karlikov say not getting free Glory Seekers hurts the Flayed Man. Yes, it's.
We will come to that in the list building section.
It's
absolutely.
It's a very hard nerf. So I played yesterday against Lannisters, and I don't know, they have their own faction cavalry attachment besides the mountain that rides. The Clegane Butcher, and it gets
the Clegane guy with Fueled by Slaughter.
So why? Why? I don't know. It's a hard debuff. And another thing for neutrals, not the Glory Seeker, the Fortune Seeker was motivated by coins. It's. What is your opinion? Glory Seeker or Fortune Seeker for the?
I mean, I've built a list with Flayed Man, and we will see later. I put in now I don't have to Fortune Seeker, not because I think he's now better than a Glory Seeker, but in terms of what do you want the Flayed Man to achieve, I think they're both equal viable options. They just have different roles now. With the Glory Seeker, as we used to play it, they just get that little bit more grindy. It was really nice. The synergy with shooting bowmans into melee, and when they pass the test, you make damage. Now with the Fortune Seeker, you can enhance their grindiness because they can get rerolls. They can now heal more wounds every time they get activated when enemy don't control bags. Yeah, it's choice of taste.
Yeah. Rusty Rhodes, share what your best commander it was. Yes.
Oh, what does he share? What did he share?
No, he talks with TMG. He said he says Wargrok was our best commander, and Rusty says he's off already. Yes. Okay. Denji was saying that he has a different best commander. Yes, in this season we have a other best commander for the Boltons.
Yeah. Before we, well, actually, it quite fits. Shall we go to the next topic and look what the meta will impact? Maybe first look at old lists and just see what may change if you want to transfer those lists into the new attachment rule stuff, and maybe we can talk a little bit what why the attachment, those 4 attachment points, why we don't get that much benefit. So yeah, how will it affect?
Can you please wait a moment? Cody and Kardikov writes in the chat. I don't see it, but I wanna wait before we.
Yeah, I will wait too because.
Yeah, it's a very hard punch. Now they don't writing anymore. Okay.
Right. It was a trap. All right.
Oh.
Yeah, you called them out loud, then they got shy. So. All right. What I have here is a list you played last season. And yeah. Just in a short summary, what was the idea behind that list?
In the first time, when I played Roose Bolton, I don't play him very often. The main choice was always Margot, and after that Ramsey. The idea behind this list is that we have one center objective unit, the Black Guards with Roose Boltons, for movement.
Wait a sec, let me just look up. I'm sorry, that's not your list, that is my list. I meant to put your list first, but I have a bad personality, so I put my list first. Okay.
Oh, Cardi Kev writes her comment. She puts down 2 lists, one in Boltons, one in neutrals.
Yeah.
Correct me, Cardi, when I say bullshit. Boltons, Cutthroats, Roose Commander, Dreadfort Archer, Sour Ellen, Flateman, Jane Vars Shay. 7 activation, not much points.
From season 5 or season 6? This season.
And in the neutrals, UK, Roose Commander and the Blackguard, Jokin and Stormcrow Archers. Flateman with the Glory Seekers, yes, that's the problem. That you can pick neutral attachments in the neutrals for the neutrals. The one hard difference between neutrals and Boltons are the tactic deck. So in my opinion, the tactic deck from the Boltons are very, very nice, very supportive to their playstyle. And the neutral tactic deck, I play a long time with the neutrals and Ramsey as commander. Yes. Flateman with Glory Seeker versus Flateman without Glory Seeker, that's no choice. I would ever choose a Glory Seeker. It's the better option, in my opinion. The one thing you don't want is that your Flatemen are dying, and with Iron Resolve, it's the best. Yeah. Rusty McLean, the Glory Seeker makes Flateman really good. Sad that Boltons can take nurtures for the 4 point in this building.
That they
Yeah.
can't, yeah.
They can't.
Yeah. That's a real problem. I mean, they're not gone, but we have to pay points, and this is one of the reasons we are suffering a little bit from that patch. Yeah.
Carly says they just need to release a Bolton cavalry attachment.
Would be lovely. Yeah.
Uh,
We will talk about our House Bolton wish list.
Knuspy, or for the
Yeah.
chat, which keyword should have the Flateman attachment in your when you can make a wish?
When I can make a wish, well, for me personally, I see Flayman as a grindy unit. They are supposed to go into melee and stick there. I would really like something like maybe Prey on Fear, maybe Fueled by Slaughter. Fueled by Slaughter is already kind of taken by the Lannister attachment, so that would be a little lame. Prey on Fear for 1 point, Calf attachment would maybe also be a little bit, less. Maybe something like, I don't know, just to negate the negative from a possible harsh punishment. I'd say Prey on Fear and Unyielding. Yeah. For the -1. For the -1. For the -1 damage in panic tests. I mean, I could pick something stronger, but I think that would be quite fine 1 point attachment without being too strong, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think the attachment should have the Skinner ability and then panic token.
That would be also nice, yeah.
Skinner was with Weaken Resolve? I don't...
Yeah, genau. Yes.
Yeah, okay. And
That
panic
would
on
also
charge.
enhance the grindiness.
Yeah. I don't know what I want to have. Prey on Fear seems nice.
Yeah.
Maybe... Bolters and Courage?
I wouldn't say no, you know? Why not? Many are longing for that 7 attack on the first rank. So with Boltons and Courage, you could have that.
Oh, the order from Jon Snow in the Night Watch with the Auto 6 for charges.
Yeah, why not? There are so many possibilities you can do. So cool stuff. I also would really like something maybe completely new, but I haven't fantasized really much about.
One of the parts I wanna take every time a Glory Seeker when I play the Flayed Man is my problem that I wanna try charges with the guys that normally nobody wanna take. So I charge with a 4 or 5 and say, yeah, I try it. Sometimes I get the charge, sometimes not, but that will be for me a really good order.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you security. But then you could play Walton, you know?
Yeah, that's a problem. Okay,
Yeah.
list building.
Just to quick sum this up, this what you see is my old season 5 list. I mean, it's I would say the archetype Bruce Bolton list. I kind of stick to that because I liked it. Don't want to talk too much about it and just go over to what I would play now, because if you look at this, Grunt is free. He was always free, because he's the first bastard boy in the list. So now Damon Dance for me gives us a free point. So we have another point to spend. And since I also would like to provide everything with attachments, I kind of gone for the route. Yeah, okay, I'm going to go away from Jane, because what I did is I changed out the cutthroats by second Blackguard unit and put the Ramsey attachment in there. We didn't see Ramsey as an attachment much in Boltons because we just never had that 2 point spare to just throw Ramsey in. And with that and the point we saved by swapping out another Bastard Boy, I went for Golden Company Crossbowman because I like them very much in Boltons, especially with Sour Allen. That's my Sour Expose combo. And I mean, you don't really need that 2+ moral buff anymore because you have now a 6/6/5/5 moral on the field. No, the Flatemen are still 5, but you could do still 6, but you could change the Glory Seeker. And just kind of swapped out the ends use a little bit. And I think double Blackguards with Roos and Ramsey will be something you see very often. Do you agree?
It's a safe list. You have to choose when you play Bolton. Do you want to play high damage units like Cutthroats or Bastard Girls, or do you want to play a more grindy playstyle with Vicious, Intimidating Presence, Horrific Visage, and 3+ Rüstung?
Armor safe. Or
Armor safe. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And so you must choose. Do you want to play Blackguards 2 times with Ramsey and Roos, or do you want to play something else? So we discuss in the Bolton community very hard. For example, for 4, 7 or 8 activations. So when you want to play 8 activations, so you don't play Flayed Man. And double Blackguard is, there are 2 cornerstones, each with Horrific Visage and Intimidating Present. No enemy wanna attack that unit.
I had a game against Lannister just yesterday, and it was a 8 activation list, in fact, but also with double Blackguard. I think I have the list later in here, and until the end of the game, both Blackguard units were untouched because enemy knows if I'm going to charge them. There were many corpse piles on the field. Yeah, that -5 test is going to hurt everyone, even if you have a good moral. Even if you have a 5, a -5 brings you up to 10. So, and with the panic tokens everywhere, people don't like it.
Carly writes, maybe swap Golden Company crossbows with the Dreadfort archers, and then Blackguard for Bastard Girls, and then you can use Ramsey in the Bastard Girls. Yes, but Knuspi prefers the Golden Company crossbows with Sour Ellen, crit bow on long range, or crit bow or Sentinel. Yeah, yes, that's Knuspi's playstyle, and he don't like.
Actually, give me that second. Actually, it's with Sentinel going into short range in the flank of something, and then crit loss thundering with 3 rolls in the flank of someone. I've one-shotted multiple units with that.
Yeah, it's a nice combi, but you played.
It's very dicey.
It's very dicey, and you played once against an opponent, and he knows for the dangerous unit what you can do with it, and yeah, it's very dicey.
Yeah, of course.
And Knuspi don't like the Bastard Girls.
And that's not true.
You don't love them.
I don't like taking more than one, but we will come to that later, I think.
Okay.
All right, the next list should hopefully. Is there anything in the chat right now? Okay, then we can continue with a list. That's now actually a list by you. We can see you love the more aggressive playstyle, maybe. Yeah.
I said it's my Ramsey list I played on the German Championship.
Yeah.
At the
National
end of year.
Championship.
I looking for the right word. Yeah, it's all we wanna have. Dreadfort Archers, Groll Seeker, Flateman charging in, and Dreadfort Archers shooting in the combat. Flateman makes a panic test. It's okay.
Yeah.
From the Glory Seeker, the enemy gets 1 wound. You have rerolls and precision. It's a nice combo with Bastard Girls. Everybody hates the Bastard Girls, and measuring every time the 14 Zoll from the Bastard Girls and say, oh no, I don't want to go to them, and you can say, okay, I put them movement, and yeah, I love this list. Ramsey in the Dreadfort Spearmen. I know Dreadfort Spearmen don't get very much love in the Bolton community, but I am in the opinion that in the season 5 it's a very, very nice combo with Tian Greatjoy. You use the order from Tian, then attacking, maybe you destroy a rank, and then you have in 1 activation Panic and Weak Token in short range. It's very nice, it's very dicey, but in this season I don't see the Spearman anymore because, yeah.
You don't see Ramsey anymore in the commander position.
Yeah, and that's what the Spearmen are for. You can use all the tokens. No, we have all the tokens with all the other things.
Yeah. Just a quick thing to notice. I'm going to go to my old season 5 list. What you see here is attachment in every unit with the old rules, and your list also is full because Ben Bones is free in the Bastard Girls. Demon Dance for me is the first best boy in the list, so he's already free. And yeah, I mean, there are no more attachment slots, and we were a faction which could already really good fill out our units with attachments.
Not great attachment, but for the 0 points, it's okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. And now to the transition. This list you would change in season 6 to this. Is this at least what you sent me, or I may have pasted the wrong list? I don't know.
No, I think, but then you took two ruse lists from me, I think. But we can do with it. We can do it.
Yeah, I mean,
We can talk about it. It's no problem.
I think we will come to this list anyway later. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's okay.
yeah, it's
We
okay,
take
right?
We take the list. Yeah, I love Jane Pool.
Yeah, I know.
I love the opportunity that you can take the double first player. And in this season, with the swords as one of the good choices to make an extra attack with a unit, it's buffed a little bit more. And before we start here, I ask you, so Walter Frey, 5 points neutral NCU. You can take with him the first player 2, but Jane Pool has no counter measures. So when you activate Walter Frey and you wanna take the first player, I say it very often, but I hate the Lannister. And
Yeah.
what was it? Intrigue and
Intrigue and subterfuge, I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very terrible card, and
Yeah.
that counters many. Yeah. So, and I take Tybalt. Tybalt is one. I never got wrong. Yeah. So for me, Jane Pool is a very good option. +2 morale in a faction that have very hard problems with Panic himself. It's a very good choice, and I want to take the 30 points for NCUs there. So I'm very disabled with 27 points for units. So I take double Blackguard with Roosebolt and Ramsey, and Redforge Archers with Steel Shanks, because in my opinion is Redford Archers with Steel Shanks, so Sentinel, really good option.
Yeah.
For example, for the Ruse tactic card, seeing their flaws. It's very nice, and it's not for a melee attack, it's just attacked. Then you can disrupt the enemy playstyle. And one writes in the chat, and I never got warm with Tybalt after his initial ability. Yeah.
We all miss old Tybalt, I think. I tried to play him a little bit more often in my last couple of games. I mean, we don't need to talk that the old ability was better, but I kind of like him in certain situations. I mean, if the enemy, your opponent is a starting player, I mean, in 9 out of 10 situations, he's going to claim swords for anything. And then just to activate Tybalt, I like it, most of the time on horses, just to get that extra movement to set up an attack, or maybe to after the attack just to retreat. I think it's situational. He can be still good.
In my opinion, we see it in a later list from me. Tybalt is a little Jane Pool.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I 100% agree.
Because the positive effect from Tibble is when you use this effect and he can claim the board and your opponent is first player, then he is in the then he has the problem that he can not bring all his NCUs on the field. So he must
you take
use,
over the pressure on the board.
yes, you can never, also it's very different to play because very many enemies takes a vulnerable token for to build, but in the most plays it's a good thing, I think. When I look to the Lannisters with Qyburn, where you can claim 2 fields, and when the enemy takes one, you can bring vulnerable tokens to the enemy. That's in my opinion, Tybalt is after his initial ability.
Yeah. Inspired by him a little bit, you
Yeah,
mean?
it's strong. In my opinion,
Yeah.
it's strong, but it's very very difficult to play because
Yeah, you
you
need
must
the situation.
you must know the enemy a little bit, and it's a poker game a little bit. So
Yeah.
so I play him in this list with Jane Poole because normally I give the enemy the first turn, then I get the second turn, first player, then I use Jane Poole, and then in the third turn, and in the fourth turn, I can use
Yep.
Tybalt. Maybe some earlier, but it's a very nice transition because sometimes I must take the first player in the first round, and then you don't have the Jane double turn slightly delayed in the third and
Yeah.
first turn. Then you can use Tybalt in the first and second turn to disrupt the enemy play on the tactic board. It's a nice and dicey play. You play a little bit poker, but in many terms, it's worth, in my opinion. You lose the activation,
That's a downside, yeah.
but with Jane Poole, you lose the activation either. So I think when I want to play this combo of NCUs, when I have 3 units with 3 armor saves.
Yeah.
So I think it's okay.
All right. So, yeah, anything from you guys out there? Any questions? Any input you want to give us? Then
No one writes.
no one writes. All right. Yeah, I mean they can write whenever they want. Yeah. So now we come to some new lists that went transitioning from season 5 to 6. This is your first list you wrote for season 6, especially. Yeah, and that's I think where we can see the most differences in our play styles. I prefer double blackguard. You prefer double bastard girls.
Rusty writes, that looks like a lot of vulnerable tokens. Yes. Hi, hi, Jan and Alex. Greetings for the new guys in the chat.
Hi, welcome.
I played against again. That's not a good sign because I play for some time against a Lannister player and played this list, and I bring the rainbow tokens on the enemy on 3 units. That was a new kind of playstyle. The range, the healing was very hard. He tried to focus down my Dreadfort archers, but with the new combi of our faction ability and the tactica with the where I can heal 4 wounds.
Methods.
Yeah, that saved the guys 2 times. And yeah, bastard girls with vicious and intimidating presence are really, really hard. When
that looks really nasty.
When there's a corpse pile, the panic saves are -4, and with every time 2 panic tests and 10 dies, it's a very hard thing for the enemy.
Yeah.
Tyree writes that some nasty shit. Yes.
Doesn't look like fun as an opponent.
The one thing I don't wanna play against with this list is, I think, Baratheons. Because
totally get it. Yeah.
Because I don't have Sundering in any part, just with yes, I have our blade. We have our blades are sharp and harsh punishment, but the main damage in this list are the 2 bastard girls units, and when they are down, this gonna be very hard for this list because I don't have Jane Poole. But I try an error. Maybe I take the Dreadfort archers. Maybe I take cutthroats, and then Lord Varys must go, and I take Jane Poole. But I test this list because I think this has the most potential against 8 activations. You can focus 1 activation down, search for, and then the enemies don't see you. And when you don't engage, you can always shoot with the bastard girls. Vulnerable token. You can shoot with the Dreadfort archers, and the flayed men give you backup. It's no glory seeker, but it's a price I have to pay.
Yeah. I mean, this is a very high skill cap list, so this is not something. To be fair, I would want to play with that list, and this is not something you should give a beginner, because you really have to know what to do and need some experience with the bastard girls. I'm old enough for 1, but 2, that's your part.
And a nice combo, Tybalt and Varus. I never seeing this because I never played Varus. I normally I hate the guy because everybody plays him. That's the thing why I play Boltons. Nobody wants to play Boltons. And you can say with Tybalt, I wanna take the swords. And when the enemy say, oh no, I wanna take the swords, then you can use the Varus token and do your shit.
Yeah.
And with the tactic cards from Bruce Boltons, you have very much control for the NCU. So maybe it's possible with Jane Poole to do the double turn and much more damage with the swords. But I think I test. I think this is my list for season 6. So Kali Calf writes, honestly. Yeah.
May you read it out to me?
Yeah.
Also,
Also,
I can see the chat, please.
sorry. Kardikov writes that everyone who's casually playing Boltons will have a bad experience with them. And then with high skill are able to find good combinations to make them viable and most importantly fun.
Yeah, I mean, Boltons are still a fun and thematic faction that has never changed. It was from the beginning. It is about what kind of mindset do you go into the game with your faction choice. If you want to learn the competitive side of the game and aiming to reach the top tables of tournaments, then guess what? Boltons are not the faction for you. With all these buffs, still they're not competing with with other factions for the top position. But can you have fun with them? Hell yeah!
Oh, Sansu writes, what do you think about change? Shay to Jane Poole. And Flateman to Zor's Riders with Glory Fortune. Ooh, yes. I know what you mean. It's in this list. Oh, that's a very good point. Yeah, yes, when I don't.
You kind of give off 2 points for the Flateman to the Source Riders, and then you can pick your Jane and give them an attachment, right? Yeah.
So it's Source Riders attachment 7 points and Lord Varus 11. Yes, 11. Yes, it's a nice combo.
It would be a bit too glass cannony for me, only having 5 and 6 up armor saves in my army. But
No, I think it's good. I write it down. Thank you very much. It's a nice.
yeah. I don't want to discredit it. Not at all. It's just like, yeah. If you want to be bold, you can make this work, sure. But I say no, thank you.
Yeah, it's my problem with the Source Riders is normally the problem with all Boltons are the moral, the panic.
Yeah.
They are very, yeah. I love the Glory Seeker. So to ask Fortune or Glory Seeker, I think Glory Seeker is the best. I play against Free Frog in this season with the Flateman and Fortune Seeker, and the dives deep and will be killed by the enemy in this season. Every enemy gets switches, and nothing feels so bad. You save all armor saves but one, and then you don't get your panic test and gets 3 more runes. It's a very bad feeling.
Yeah.
I play mostly Targaryens while my army is cannon glass. Yes, it's.
Talk about Targaryens later, for sure.
Yeah. But it's. Thank you, Zansu. It's a nice recommendation. I'll write it down, maybe. Knuspernikus in the next tournament. You see what?
Yeah.
Source Rider.
Yeah.
Yes. Kali Calf writes 5 combo, 2 NCUs, maybe. That's a thing I discussed with you early in the week, Knuspy. 5 combo, 2 NCUs. The problem is that we can. Normally, when you are the first player, you want to use all tactic zones you can get. Because for the Boltons, even the crown is useful.
Yeah, it's useful and hurts if enemy gets crowns. Yeah.
So, and in my opinion, you need the 3 NC users. NC users. New word.
NC users to use them, yeah. I'm a 3 NCU hardliner, especially when it comes to still being at 7 activations in total. When you play with 2 NCUs, you're kind of locked out of Tybalt for me, because then losing another activation on the tactics board, don't know. You definitely lose Jane, because when you get to take over the starting turn with 2 NCUs and you give your enemy a 4th NCU, he has control over 4 zones on a tactics board, and that's too much of a negative. So I haven't tested it on the field. You could maybe try an 8 activation list with 2 NCUs, with 6 on the board. That may be worth it, but that's just theory. Yeah. All right. Yeah, any further things to discuss for now, or shall we continue? I take that as a no.
Yeah, Kalikov writes down 8 activation list. Kali, we wanna show you the next list. Maybe there you can see your list. I don't know the English word for Vorschlag.
Suggestion.
Yeah, this word. Okay, next list, please.
Yeah. All right. So now we're going a little bit more into the season 6 kind of meta. I think we will see 8 activation lists more often. Not for Bolton specifically, but in general. I think armies being at 7 activations will maybe include an 8. 8 activation lists may go up to 9, and so on. Not for every list, but just some general feeling. Just to get a little bit more out of the free attachments, and this is my take on Ruse. We now have 2 Ruse lists. We will show you a Ramsey and a Walton list. But we both think Ruse is going to be the default commander for competitive play, because he's overall the roundest. And next would be Ramsey, but Ramsey is now not only a viable commander and a viable NCU, but also a viable attachment. And I like this Ramsey attachment for multiple reasons. First of all, intimidating presence is always nice. I like the panic bomb he brings with Theon, with Reek. And Fueled by Slaughter is always nice, and he's our 2-point attachment, and we kind of get trouble really benefiting from it. So here we have a list where we really get those 4 points maxed out. Pretty simple. Again, my double Blackguard, my tanky baseline of units. Then we have 2 units of Cutthroats. One with Grunt to be kind of a more beefier pseudo tank, but also kind of damagey and attacky. Then a second unit of Cutthroats with Sour Ellen, just pure aggression and damage potential. Yeah, and just as you said in the other list, Walton in the Dreadfort Archers with Sentinel, kind of the Sentinel I like from the Golden Company crossbows, and then counting as Roose Bolton for seeing their flaws. I mean, there are going to be many attachments, much more defensive abilities, being able to shut them off. then maybe with Walder on the ladders to pick seeing the flaws out of the deck when I exactly know. Don't know what's a good example. Something with resilience. You are attacking something with resilience with the archers, or something with hardened, or anything in that kind. Yeah. And Varys and Shay, they're never wrong. They're never bad, no matter what faction, no matter what list. And with Shay and Walder being able to dish out weaken tokens is also nice. So yeah, that's what I like to play for my 8 activation.
You played this list very often in the last days.
Excuse me, last sentence?
You played this list very often in the last days.
Yeah, I kind of try out how to get the 8 activation work and what fits for me. I'm not a fan of the spears. For me, the only place for spears is when you play Ramsey Commander, because they're the perfect bunker for him. And yeah, I mean, cutthroats can surprise the enemy.
Sansu writes in the chat, I think in this patch, Ramsey Commander got nerfed because he's the only 2-point attachment in Boltons. Yes.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
The only one who is... also Bruce get massive buffs, but I think Walden Steelshanks is the secondary commander you would play now. Kali Cuff writes, this list I wanna try. Maybe with other attachment, but she loves it. Seeing the flaws range will be good. Yes. Also seeing the flaws range, nothing to say about it. It will be very nice.
Yeah.
In the best, for the best, you attack, precision, rerolls, seeing the flaws. You can use the vulnerable token. I think it's a great combo.
I mean, just imagine playing against a Greyjoy player. You're shooting on a unit which is almost dead, and yeah, he has this "what is dead may never die" on his hand, and you're like, yeah, seeing the flaws. No, you won't. You won't resurrect them because no tactics cards for that round. It's a little bit like other control tools, a little bit like let's say patch phase for the Baratheons, like Makoro for the Greyjoys. This is seeing the flaws for the Boltons. So when you know your enemy in advance, to just shut anything that may come and prevent your plans.
The next thing I want to ask you, do you would change Sour Allen and Steelshanks so you have Sentinel on the cutthroats and can then...
Yeah, I can see Steelshanks on cutthroats. I have played a list with that too. For then the cutthroats were like a bit more the protectors for my ranged units. You will never see me play Sour Allen in archers again, because I have so bad experiences with it. Those 2 wounds you got when you don't kill anything. I have the feeling Sour Allen is really nice in a unit which can really pack apart, which really can, not that the archers can't do damage, but I mean, I want to be in the position with the archers just to shoot without having to think about any consequences. For example, I had a game yesterday, my archers had bribery for 3 turns until I was able to get the bags on them. So with Sour Allen, that would be, I'm pretty sure that would have been 6 wounds for my guys, because with bribery on lowest attack die, they're probably not gonna kill a rank. So that's my point.
Sun Tzu writing, seeing the flaws turns off horrific visage and Lannister supremacy. Yes, all orders, tactic cards, and abilities.
Yeah, the important thing is actually. Let me have a quick look in the exact wording, because it may not be that easy. I had a similar question with someone else a few days ago. So this is the ruse card. Just have a look it up, seeing the flaws.
Okay. Tyree asked, I asked in the international Discord, they disagreed. So I must see the card one more time.
Well, here is attach this card to the enemy unit until the end of the round. While attached, and Ruse Bolton's unit is attacking that enemy. While is attacking. So I'm not sure what while attaching. Yeah, so the kind of trigger is while Ruse Bolton's unit is attacking. And then the enemy unit loses abilities and cannot be affected by the tactics card for the rest of the turn.
Tyree writes, because Lannister supremacy triggers after the attack is complete. Okay, then horrific.
This is gonna be shut down. Because you lose your abilities until the end of the turn. Lannister supremacy is out of question. I'm thinking about like we'll see neutral blackguards and other lists more often. I think this would even shut down horrific visage, but I'm not 100% sure.
I'm not a ruler, but in the card text, the words are and Ruse Bolton unit is attacking that enemy, not into the end of round or turn. While is attacking, so effects before and after are used. So I think horrific visage. You can't cancel horrific visage. You can't cancel shield wall. You can't cancel unyielding. You can cancel unyielding, hardened, something like that. But no effects before and after the effect.
Yeah, that's
sorry,
a really good question, General.
Sun Tzu, that's a very good question. In my opinion, seeing the flaws doesn't turns off horrific visage and Lannister supremacy, but I'm not a ruler. I would say, yeah, does not TMG writes does not shut off horrific. Horrific is before the attack.
Yeah, it is before resolving attacks. But this is attacking is kind of it's a multiple part thing. An attack action starts with the change phasing, I think, and this is before resolving even. So that's a very loose card text for me on seeing the flaws. That will be something I will ask Thomas Nachtalb. He's our rules expert. I'm really interested in his opinion.
Rusty writes, same question was asked for Catherine Rock Honor Guard in our rules forum and was solved.
Yeah, that was yesterday. That's what I meant. What I was talking yesterday about, but that's a different topic, and that's not the same situation as here.
But It's very interesting. It's a very interesting question because
Yeah.
I think we see more blackguards as enemy.
Yeah, we will see more of them. All right.
Sorry, I can't answer that question. So I think Rusty is right, or Denji is right. Maybe we looking in the rules questioning part of
Yeah.
the secrets. So sorry.
I mean,
I don't.
you may put that question there yourself. You can let us do it just as you wish.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
I would like to increase the tempo a little bit. So we get finished with this within maybe the next 40 minutes, and I'd rather give you more time than us to talk more.
Yeah.
So my take on the Ramsey list for this season. I like Bastard Girls too, and I just thought, yeah, let's try a little bit something different with Ramsey Commander in here. Yeah, most of the time it's just about letting Ramsey and the Bastard Girls do the hard work. The rest of the army should either be in the possibility to by themselves clear out enemies, or if their enemies are stronger, just to hold up until the Bastard Girls are coming. With Jane and Tybalt, the possibility to a little bit more control when I have access to shenanigans with the Bastard Girls. So that's the general thinking of this list. I have to be honest, I'm a little bit uninspired in this season what to do with Ramsey Commander, and yeah, so this is like kind of put a little thought into it, but I'm not really,
You must give the next folie from your presentation.
Yeah. Excuse me, what?
Du brauchst die nächste Folie. Du hast noch die Bruce Bolton-Liste.
Oh, I actually switched.
Oh!
So you're still seeing the Ruse list?
Yes, with double Blackguard, also the 8 activation list.
Oh, no. I'm actually... do you see the desktop now?
No, it's loading.
Some technical
Chat,
issues, maybe I have to...
what did you see in the presentation?
What did you now see?
It's
You know
loading.
what? I'm just
now I see your picture.
All right. Then fast forward. Whoops. Well, yeah.
One
That
more.
was the list
One more back. Das ist Shanks.
I'm at my Ramsey list right now.
Oh. Same problem. Okay. Yeah, then maybe you must go into the presentation when you have the...
Wait. I will just restart the... Maybe we will then see something. So...
One up. That's a Walden. This is a Ramsey.
Yeah, but I really would like to. You're seeing that I'm going through the presentation, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now, which list is open for you?
Shanks.
And now?
Ramsey. It's okay.
Nice. Okay, now we have it. Yeah.
So, in short terms, 8 activation Boltons is your thing to handle season 6.
It's when I go into it from a tournament perspective, I would always pick a 7 activation list with a little bit more elite units, and I would always pick 8 activations list because we will see that often, and I think it will be worth. I don't say it will be this, but something like the 8 activation Ruse list you've seen before. I'm pretty sure 1718 is the way to go.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
No archers, bastard girls. Maybe a good list. We will see. Do you try the
We'll see.
do you try the list?
No, I didn't try the list because, yeah, like I said, I'm kind of uninspired with Ramsey, and it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah,
No problem.
the problem with Shanks, I have two. I have an idea with the elephant in Shanks, but
Yeah.
I don't assure for the setup. So I
Yeah.
bring it. I don't know. I wanna try this Shanks list with I love the Bloody Mama Skirmisher. Fueled by Slaughter, Disrupt, Counter-Strike is a nice combo. I love the veterans to play, but not as opponents.
Yeah.
So, yeah. 6 movement, 12 charge. I think it's nice.
They are
Maybe.
no Blackguard, but I also am not so keen about to charge them. I mean, yeah, it's
Or you can turn up abilities.
an annoying enemy to fight with.
Mm. Yeah, we can token. Yeah, it's
another token source. Yeah.
Yeah, you can use the influence from Jane Poole on them. 5 moral, 5 panic.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. It's nice. So Bruce Bolton in this list, I also not confident about. Just try it. I think in this season, our greatest enemy are we self and the list building.
Yeah.
We get so much buffs. I think, yeah, it's very difficult.
Yeah. I remember in season 5, because you say trying Ruse out as an NCU. I remember in season 5, one of the reasons I like to play Wargrok as a commander was having access to Ruse NCU because his ability to pull out panic tokens kind of on demand was very useful for many things. Now that we have our faction ability, to be honest, I played many lists with Ruse Commander, and I don't miss his NCU anymore.
And that's interesting because Dan G writes, Ruse intimidating is amazing, spread fear is great, and now we have Dread for prisoners for a free pseudo Ruse NCU, and
exactly
so
that's what I mean.
even
Yeah.
more to take commander. Yes.
Yes.
It's
100%.
You are. I said in the beginning with Dreadfort prisoners, you are more flexible in your doing for panic tokens. Our blades are sharp in other cards. So yes, in my opinion, Boltons are one of the best token factions in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. How did our matchups change? So we have all the factions listed here. And there are always better and worse matchups. What we want to do now is rate a little bit how the factions changed. I've kind of prepared already our mixed opinion of Wargrok and me. Since Dan is present, and if he wants, I mean, I know you're much in other content creating stuff, and maybe you just want to relax today and watch and listen to others talk. But I would really like to invite him up on stage to maybe hear his opinion, because I think he's the best Bolton player present here in this small group of listeners. So if he's willing to come up, is he even still present? I don't see anything. He says sure.
Senji says yes. He wanna.
Yeah.
Ach, Denji. Sure.
Hi.
Sorry.
Hello.
Hi. Nice having you here. Really nice.
Hi.
Yeah.
How are you
Is
guys?
it a coincidence? No, it's not. You're a Bolton fanatic.
I love them too much, man.
I get it. Yeah. So now I messed up my presentation. So
Sorry.
while I get to this again, quick sum up by your side what you think about season 6 right now.
For Boltons, I'm very happy.
Yeah.
I think the changes, like exactly like you two have said, Dreadfort Prisoners, when it first came out, everyone was a bit like, is that it?
Yeah.
But I think it's like panic tokens make our faction tick. And it's just
Yeah.
where we want it. Like you mentioned with a trigger, you could do it whenever you want. I think that's really cool. The 2 cards, Remorseless, it's sad to lose the corpse pile, but the first part of Bloody Beheadings is so cool, right? Like, I played a game
Yeah.
yesterday and I got 4 panic tokens from killing a rank. Like,
Yeah.
it's so good. And then I had both cruel methods in my hand. I was just like this feels so cool. I think the only thing I'm quite unhappy with is the army building,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
like the list, my mate who I played against, he ran Lannisters, which is quite a good matchup I think for Boltons. I quite enjoy it, and he just had a million attachments and they were all amazing and all of his units hurt, whereas we're sort of still like we have 6 points basically, and we only have 2 points, which is 1 2-point attachment Ramsey. So immediately you kind of don't want to take Ramsey, NCU, or Commander, who is good.
Yeah.
You know, they're both good, but now I feel like I have to take the attachment.
Yeah.
The army building, I think one thing it does let me, I don't have to put Ben Bones in the Bastard Girls. I could have one of the other attachments, or Ben
Yeah.
Bones can go in Cutthroats, and he's really good in Cutthroats. But that for me, just not being able to maximize the army building. I think if they change Bastard Boys to be able to ignore an attachment limit once for your first one,
Yeah.
that immediately, bang, cool. We're talking. But I'm very happy with the stuff. I still
see
think
we tick very, very similar on all those points, because the Bastard Girl not being the first one being free, but the first one ignoring attachment limits. That would be awesome, yeah.
super cool.
Oh.
Or Bolton Flayers, you know? Just
Yeah, or
being
the
able to
players or the captains, something, yeah.
Yeah. I think that'd
Yeah.
be cool.
Spread fear.
One thing I really would like to excuse me?
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm
Okay.
dreaming.
One thing I really would like to hear, you just said you like the Lannister matchup. And I know from a different person here that he absolutely hates Lannister matchups. So why is it that you, because I also don't like playing against Lannisters, why do you think it's an okay matchup?
I think we both do very similar things, and we both have very similar things. So Lannisters aren't great at morale. If we ever get stuff off, we can play the Crown Zap game, the make them fail panic game. They do it back to us, which hurts, but I think we can do a lot of damage to them. I think but previously season 5, like the Bolton deck wasn't great. It's a counterplot. It is sort of just like, oh, you're gonna counterplot cruel methods, I guess. There's not like a big assault orders or something. And I think, especially in Season 5, like, Flayed Men with Glory Seekers were so good into Lannisters. Even if they've got
Yeah.
crossbows, we're still on 4-up saves. You can't put turncoats in them. So I would 9 times out of 10 run my Flayed Men lists into them. I think, like, NCU wise as well, for intrigue, like, they can turn off
Yeah.
Ramsey NCU, which is, like, could be really pivotal, but more times than not, it doesn't really feel that bad. Turning off Varys for a turn for a card, like, again, it doesn't really feel that big. So I quite like the Lannister matchup because we both do panics. We do them a lot more often at more minuses, whereas the Lannisters do sort of big kaboom panics. So it's yeah, I feel it's quite a nice matchup personally. I can see why you hate them. I do hate them, but I think I play against Lannisters probably the most, especially at sort of my top level opponents. The best players I play are all Lannister players, so maybe it's just because I'm more practiced at them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's possible. You have your sparring partner.
Yeah, exactly. But I can see why you hate them. But they do fail panics all the time.
They do
And
fail panic. That's true. Yeah.
And that's what we like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. They have very many cards that disrupt my playstyle. So I wanna play this counterplot. I wanna activate the NCU, Integrate and Subterfuge. Then I try a panic test. Yeah, hear me roar, and I don't know. That's so much nasty. Yeah, I don't like the Lannister as enemy, because often when you have a good Lannister player, and my sparring partner is, I'm the opinion of, he is a very good Lannister player. He has not very often, the dice are not with him. Sometimes he rolls bullshit, but in my opinion, it's one of my hardest matchup. I love playing against Martell or Brotherhood
You're
with
so
a Banner,
crazy.
but I hates Martell. I hates Lannister. I don't know.
So
My hate
sorry.
for Martell burns so interestingly, so there's no way of
So
but you know, that's my personal in the local meta kind of one of my best friends. He plays Martells, and yeah, so many hateful moments.
Yeah.
Were you before? Sorry, I didn't long come back. Were you sort of doing a tier ranking of the factions, sort of who Boltons like to play against?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah, to continue here. What we are gonna do now is it's not about the kind of how the matchup is. This is more meant to be in terms of the season 6 changes. Is the matchup worse than before? Is it better than before? Or is it roughly equal? That's the point here.
Excellent.
So I would like to say we make it fairly easy. Neutrals, what do you think? Worse, equal, easier?
I think worse.
You think worse? Okay. Wargrok?
I think I wrote it's even. It's
You wrote even?
on the one side we have the better tactic deck, but on the other side they have more opportunities for the attachment.
Yeah.
So Flayed Man and Glory Seeker, for example.
That's
All right.
That's what I think. They get 2 free Glory Seekers, right? I would slightly disagree on the deck one.
I think
their deck is amazing.
I think I messed up here because That now looks like I'm.
Yeah,
Just let me
easy.
correct this.
1 point to
Yeah,
Wargrok.
because.
Bye bye, Alex. Have a nice.
Yo, bye. Oh, where is it here? So like this. I hope you're still seeing this. Yeah. Yeah. My first impression was still in the presentation because at first I thought it is a better matchup, but then I was like, yeah, but they benefit from the attachment changes more than we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm with you.
For example, Stormcrow Archers with Jokin. I don't know from
Yeah.
who the list comes, but it was true. That's a good point. The attachment and
Yeah.
neutral attachments, and they got Vargo.
They still have Wargrok.
They can rub it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've already read about some Bolton players switching to neutrals to play Boltons exclusively because, in their opinion, it's the stronger faction. But I don't know. It's a completely different playstyle because of the deck. So
On stats, is neutrals better than Boltons? But the whole time.
yeah, but to switch to neutrals and only play Bolton units. So like before the Bolton release, when you want to play Boltons.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
what some people are going to do, but okay. Yeah, Lannister. Well, Dan, you said you like the matchup. Do you like it more, or do you think it's worse? Or is it even?
Ooh, is a difficult one because I think Lannisters are going to struggle to have as good a double crossbow list, and I think that's really difficult to play into. I think they're going to have a lot more honor guard and sort of a smash list. Robert Strong is hard, but we do have Flayed Man. I think it's the same. I'd say it's the same.
You say it's the same, okay?
Personally.
I say Lannister are bullshit. No, I think they get 2 attachments for 1 point that have Stalwart. They have here the High Sparrow is buffed very, very hard. I think it's a very hard matchup. So
Yeah.
you have Robert Strong. Robert Strong. 2 wounds, resilience. You have on the enemy field as commander. Robert Strong as commander was Gregor Clegane.
Yeah.
It's a very hard opponent to play against with assault orders and overrun. Yeah, I think it's very hard because they can use better attachment.
Now it's wrong in every other. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just ignore that now neutral is positive. It's last like this. I will change it later. Yeah. Yeah. For the Lannisters, I am pretty convinced. I mean, yeah, the double crossbow nerf with, yeah, just removing, just changing the motivated by coin from Bron alone.
It's huge change.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. It has a huge impact, but I don't think personally that other Lannister lists are that much better to play against. I mean, when I think about something like, yeah, maybe double honor guard, I personally would take double crossbows. I think I would like to play against double crossbows more than against double honor guard.
Okay. Stark?
Yeah, Stark?
In my opinion, I have very hard problems with Starks when they have many activations. I
Yeah.
see lists with 3 wolves, but I see also more than one list with double Talikav. I think it's an activation problem. I don't know. It's harder or easier to play against Stark.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? I think the main standout from the patch is the Berserker tactics change,
Yeah.
which
And assault orders.
yeah, Assault is interesting because like with Talikav, they lose 1 dice on the charge, right?
Yes.
So it's not that big for that.
Yeah, on
But-
the Talikav, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say probably the same. I think maybe because Talikav just get 3 attachments now. That's difficult.
Yeah.
I'd say the same. I don't think there's anything
Okay. I was a little bit more optimistic.
there.
It's just
Good.
I mean, I don't want to spoil the rest of the list. Everyone still listening, keep in mind the neutral one is the wrong side around. So there have to be some positive points. And I think against Starks is where we can put it in.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, no, I'd love to agree with that.
Yeah. By the way, just to say it once more, it's not Stark is an easy matchup. It's just an easier than before. So get everybody on the same boat.
Okay. All right. Nightwatch.
All right. Night's Watch.
Nice.
My
What?
most hated enemy when I started playing Boltons back then, when they were released.
I can
Yes?
see why. I hate
Back
playing
in
Night's
season
Watch.
3, it was season 3, I think. It was the time when the cards, all the attached to the unit cards, couldn't be removed.
Yes,
Yeah,
that was
they were stupid.
I remember playing against someone who has like 3 or 4 cards attached to one unit, like this incredibly tough and deadly death style. It was like, wait, what's going on here?
But in that time, Boltons cannot play with neutrals. So it was double hard for us.
That was double hard, yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Then-
how does it look for season 6? Do we
What do
like
you
them
think?
now as an enemy?
I think we've got better. I'd say we're better because I don't think Night's Watch have changed much. Sure, they get loads of free attachments and their army building's a lot better and they've got good attachments. But I think like Bloody Beheadings and Dreadfort just gives us a lot more panic tokens. We can get them out before they get their cards on. And if we can re-roll panics on everything, we can strip cards a lot faster. I think we're better into Night's Watch. Ooh,
That's
I'm wrong.
actually a good point. I haven't thought about the impact of Bloody Beheadings being able to strip off the cards like, yeah, in long range. That's a really good point. So that's maybe something I maybe would disagree my own past opinion now.
I have 2 problems with Nightwatch. Catapults. Catapults? Don't.
Yeah,
Hold-
Stone Thrower.
Yeah.
Stone Thrower. Thank you very much. Stone Thrower.
It is a
Ballista.
catapult. It is the right term for that kind of machinery.
Yes, okay. I'm very bad at English, sorry. Catapult.
You're great.
Catapult. Stone Thrower. Ballista.
Yeah.
Flateman. And now Shadow Tower Spearman. Unyielding is a very hard counter against us. And Edison Toilet. Toilet? Toilet.
He's good, right? Mr. Toilet.
So and now they can choose 3 7 they can choose against us 3 7-point units, so 3 spearmen and 1, I don't know, riders with bows. I think it's a very hard matchup all the time, and now they can took 3 spearmen in one you put Alistair Thorne, and then the other 2 you put Watch Marshal here, Watch Captains, and it's a very, in my opinion, it's a very hard matchup now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still think it's hard. I think season 5 it was really hard. I think this season it will be very hard still. I just think just a teeny bit better. We've got
Teeny tiny bit, yeah. I get
few
it.
more tools, yeah. But
Yeah.
I completely agree. They're the worst
Maybe.
to play.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. It's Somas.
Ugh.
Oh, Sun Tzu writes, I see list someone plays 2 Watch Marshal and 2 Spearmen with Relentless. Yes. Set for Charge and Relentless is a very, very bad combo.
Yeah.
Okay. That was Nightwatch.
Default. Now I'm really, yeah, curious. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
I mean, I know your opinion, but what about Dan?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I initially would think we're slightly better off. I think
Okay.
because it's niche little things. I quite enjoyed the free folk pairing usually because
Yeah.
unless
Yeah.
it was pure giants, they're quite bad at morale. They take an extra damage on everything. And the fact, like, if we get a bloody beheadings off by killing like a stupid raider unit, we could get 5 damage on 2 units next to it. I think that's pretty cool. More tokens is good. Into giants, I think we struggled with giants before. Now we can do some more wounds at distance, put some weakens with cruel sadistic games onto spear throwers for free off of a card. We can, yeah, I think probably the same, maybe a little better. I like you two guys. I'm not super sure.
Knospi?
Wait a second.
In my
Okay.
opinion, we will see less raiders, I think. Maybe more 10s. And I think every matchup on tournaments we see free folk players with 1 giant list and 1 other list, Baromir, or other things. I think it's a very hard matchup because they will every time pick giants against us.
Yeah.
I was looking at this list from a tournament perspective, and I would assume that every free folk player will have a giant list packed in now. And I think the Giants will be one of our worst enemies this season. The Giants list.
They're difficult, right?
Yeah, and that's I put some
Ooh,
marks for
right.
attention because this is kind of my feeling that this is going to be a really horrible matchup. I totally agree with you against the more, yeah, not more usual, but against some non-monster list. So with everything you know from free folk with many activations and bad panic and morale and extra damage, we increased. But the fact that giants are going to be big thing, I think is going to hurt us very much. Yeah.
Yeah, I can completely agree with that.
Yeah. All right. I just want to increase the tempo a little bit. So now Baratheons.
Hard.
Yeah,
Still hard, harder than before.
I think so. I think they've got very good
Yes.
attachments. I think
Yeah.
slightly worse.
I
Good
think we are pretty fine with it. Yeah, we agree on that. Okay. Targaryens. Yeah, you're already laughing.
Yeah. No weekend token.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I think I'm going to start on this one. Giants are going to be horrible. I should have put more in here. This is
See,
going to be
I-
our worst nightmare, I think.
I disagree.
Really?
I think Mother of Dragons, because she didn't get any love like Giants did. You know, I think if they would have done if you take Mother of Dragons Commander, for every attachment you don't spend -1 point on a dragon, I would
That would be
completely
insane, yeah?
I would completely agree. But she got nothing. She is as she is now, which is horrible. But I think because their Dothraki list is so much stronger after the patch
Yeah.
than before, I think we're going to see less dragons. So
Yeah,
think
and
we're gonna-
I'm talking. Yeah, I totally agree, and I'm not talking about dragons. I don't fear dragons. I now fear the Screamer and Blood Rider spam.
the massive. Yeah, I see that, but I think we could. It's better than dragons to play into.
The thing
opinion.
is, I had in my first 3 games with Boltons. My first game was for Screamer with a different Blood Rider and everyone, and Drogo in our Flaytman. And in the second list I played, it was a little bit of tryout, but it was the Outriders full with the Blood Riders. And there are different things that it's not just you can't weaken them. When you look at Dreadfort Prisoners, you have to chew through 2 extra wounds to get a rank. Same for Bloody Beheadings. They are just like countering out many of our benefits we got. Sadistic games, the weakened tokens are not really interesting. And yeah, that are the reasons why I think they are going to hurt us really, really, really bad.
I agree. It's a terrible matchup, but I still think dragons will be less common.
I agree with you. I agree with you. There will be less common. Yeah.
Sun Tzu writes, we have hard matchup, terrible matchup, and then we have Targaryens.
Yeah.
Okay. The next one. Great
choice.
I don't like Victarion. Did I say that before?
I think so. I've heard it from you already.
I would say worse, just because we're not. We can't run cav as much now because we have to pay for glory seekers, and I think running cavalry is big into graduates.
Yeah, that's their one of the big weaknesses, just outplaying them or trying to outplay them. I think they got some great changes regarding attachments. And yeah, I mean, they are going to be able to play 9 activations lists, which will be very strong.
Yeah, maybe Balon, I don't know. When you play 9 activations, you have no good activation to bring back with Balon for 6 points.
I think you don't have the points even for 9 activations for Balon.
Yes, that's the next point. Yeah. Yeah.
Martells, I'm kind of out. I'm going to leave that to you because this is the faction I really can't look without tinted glasses on it. And
yeah, I see how at Edric Dane. He is the one attachment in the whole patch. I think it's the best. Because 1 point ignores attachment limits and has true good effects. Yes, abilities. It's a great attachment. So you can put it anywhere in your commander. I want to have that as Bolton player.
Yeah.
I think slightly worse because Martells have become slightly better Their
Mm.
attachments are very, like you were saying, they've got 2 ignoring attachments.
Yeah.
They're going to be good, I think.
And they have a very good NCU against attachments. That will
Yes,
be
Ariane.
another buff in this season. So they can shut down our Ramsey in every matchup.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah.
Mirror matches.
I don't know. I don't want to play mirror matches. On tournaments,
Yeah.
on tournaments, I always say, I think in the 1.5 year I played Boltons since release. I just played 2 games against Boltons, and that is good.
We had 2 mirrors at the last War of the North tournament. Yeah, I love. I don't know how it is with other factions. As a Bolton, I love playing mirror matches because it gets so chaotic, and I don't know if it's going to be better or worse from a winning and strong point of view. But having 4 beheadings in 2 factions, the same faction with bad morale, it's just going to be mayhem.
I use that for charge and bloody beheadings. No, I use bloody beheadings, and I don't know.
It's gonna be fun.
It's going to be so much fun, yeah.
I don't know.
I've only played 1 mirror match ever.
Oh,
and
really?
That was at the Invitational last weekend, and there were 2 Bolton players, and we both played each other game 6, and it came down to the last panic test of the game. That was it.
Great.
That was how close it was. Like,
Great game. Great
amazing.
game.
I think
Yeah.
the problem why we play so less Bolton games is on the rankings on tournaments where we play are no Boltons. No
Yes,
other
no
Boltons.
one takes Boltons.
Yes.
Actually, that's not true. The tournaments I went, I mean, the War of the North this year, or the one in February, we were like 5 Bolton players in a 60-man tournament.
Yeah, to be fair, UK Nationals, I think there were 4 or 5 Bolton players.
Yeah, and German nationals also. We were also like 5 or 6 Bolton players. So
yeah,
but
down at the bottom we shall meet.
yeah.
Yeah, Brotherhood.
Also aha. Yaha.
Yeah.
The only card I don't like. Yeah. Dan, do you want to play against Brotherhood with Banner?
It's interesting because so much of their stuff relies on morale. We kind of have a good time if they can't ever pass them because we're putting -3 onto them, you know, or we've got intimidating engaged with them when they need to get their Knights of Hallow Hearwolf, or we've got a panic token on them because beheadings, just panic tokens everywhere, and before we can re-roll it. So in that respect, I think we've got a little better, but with army building, their army building is really good. It's a difficult matchup because they're insane, but it was a difficult matchup before. So I'm just trying to think between 5 and 6. The fact we've got more tokens and a Ramsey attachment, so we've got double intimidating on the board, makes their morales to do stuff slightly harder. So maybe the same, I would say. It's still almost impossible, but the same.
I was kind of a little bit more negative because I have the feeling they have the better attachments. And they still can get a neutral attachment for free.
My big problem with Brotherhood with Banner is point one. They have a fight unit for 4 points
Yeah.
can take 5 points for attachments with them, and they have a very, very big variety on. I want to play this. I want to play this. They can choose from 4 factions, their units, and can every match is other one. They can break Lightbringer. They can bring Lightbringers with them. They can bring Great Umber, Great Axes with
But
them.
they could do that before, right?
Yeah, before, and this time they can take the Umber Great Axes and a 2-point attachment with them that gives them 2 dice before. They can do it before, but now for the 4 points they can take a peasant unit for free.
Yeah, that's true. They've
Yeah.
just got a free
So
peasant.
Yeah, I've never calculated like that.
So
Yeah.
it's I think it's a very hard matchup because our lists are very straightforward. We have Roos, we have Ramsey, we have the 27 points or 28 points for our fighting units, and this will be it. So we have no big variety in our competitive lists. They have a big variety, and they can always change. The one player plays with this, the other player with this, and always with 1 activation or 2 activation more. That's a big problem. I don't want to say it's a debuff for us because the only the 2 hard things I see at peasants are disrupt and gang up.
Peasants are so good for 4 points.
Yeah.
For 4 points, they're insanely good. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
All
I
right.
think.
Then, bold wish list. Yeah, kind of an easy topic to just discuss a little bit. And at that point, I'm going to close the presentation and just make this here big. What do you wish about? Wait a second. So now, yeah. What do you wish about? What's your wish list for the Boltons?
I think we sort of said it earlier. For me, is the
Yeah.
bastard boy. The first one you take ignores attachment limit, and a Heroes 2. I'd love a Heroes 2. Just another commander or 2, another NCU or 2, and a 2-point attachment. I think because at the moment now, if we're taking a neutral unit like Golden Company crossbows, we can take Varys, and then we have to take Tybalt and Walder because we're gonna probably be using Roos Commander, and we're gonna probably be having Ramsey attachment. And running Walder and Tybalt feels so bad because they're okay. But yeah, I'd love a Heroes 2. That would make me smile so much. Just some cool stuff. That'd be really cool.
Yeah. Heroes 2. Yeah. New commander. Maybe Dreadfort units, because in the moment the Blackguards gets a buff, all Blackguards gets a buff. I wanna have unique units for Boltons that can be separated the buffed or nerf. I think that's a good thing for us, because yeah, Heroes Box 2 is I don't know.
Well,
I don't think it will happen, but I would love it.
Yeah.
Just the army building, just so we can
Yeah.
use these free attachment points we got. If we had another 2-point attachment and a bastard boy can double up into a unit, it would just I think that's my only issue with the Boltons now, is everyone else can use their nice toys. We're sort of using 4 out of 6.
But I don't
Yeah,
think
it's kind of a bit the problem that we already were able to take free attachments, so yeah, it's not like we're benefiting really from the attachment season.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like. Oh, excuse. Yeah, please.
No, I doesn't have anything to say.
Okay.
For wishes.
What would you like to see?
Yeah, on my wish list, most of the time were like unit buffs and stuff like that. But after having some games in season 6, I'm really longing for NCU and commander options the most. That would be my first wish on the list. Second wish on the list, I think it was Cody from our Bolton community. He came up with a really great idea. I'm still wanting more units to pick. Like in that season, I noticed, a 4-point unit would be nice, maybe something in the 6-point unit range and a 7-point unit. And Cody had a really great idea, like make something like Rainbow Guard or like the King's Guard from Lannister. So you have a beefy unit or multiple attachments in one release. It would be a much easier thing for Simon to do. Yeah.
That's a cool idea.
That's really a cool idea, yeah.
Bolton's King in the North Guard. I see.
Yeah, some kind of protective guard. And I really hope for opening up. I know it's controversial, everyone likes it. I really hope for something like Brotherhood without banners-ish rule to open up. Because let's face the reality, we won't get many releases, and having access to stuff from different factions would just allow it to be interesting, in my opinion. I really would like to kind of be a bit more loyal to the fluff, but not extremely loyal, but something like maybe a Stark unit and Lannister NCUs, because Boltons and Lannisters never fought on the battlefield actually. So that would be a cool thing to.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah, just not to copy BWB 1-1. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
like 6 points on the board, 4 points for an NCU.
No, Tywin NCU.
Yeah, could you imagine? Mate, if they did that, I would just like 1 turncoat, please. That's
all I need.
That's all I need.
Wargrok had a great idea. We were talking about commander wishes, what kind of commander we want. Do you want to tell it? Because it just fits right now in this, what Dan just said.
I tried on English, okay? I have an idea for sabotages.
Yeah.
You can put them in enemy units, and they give -1 on morale tests for every token on the unit, and have synergies with the commander.
That's pretty cool. I love the idea of an enemy attachment in Boltons.
It's so great.
It fits so well, and for
Because-
tokens as well. That's cool.
Because, in my opinion, the Boltons doesn't have nameful fighters on their side where you can say, yes, this must in a unit, this must fight. No, they have this cunningful play where they can, and I think attachment for the attachment limit is good, but in the enemy unit it's even better for Boltons. That's my idea.
It's very cool. Just anything. An enemy attachment with like a maimed Jamie would be so cool and thematic.
Mm.
And strong. Right.
Yeah. So, in terms of the recording, I have to say now, thank you, Dan, for coming up here for discussing with us. If you like, you can stay here. We can still talk, but I just really would like to officially make an end here of the recording and everything. So also thank you to my dear friend Jan, who, thought he is really bad at English. I think you've done great here, so was nice to having you. And thank you for all the participants, everyone who written the chat, or just for everyone who was listening. And stay positive. There will be our time to shine someday.
Up
So,
the Boltons.
Up the Boltons.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Come for the hits and stay for the crits.